tender embrace. Mothers of the universe, Mother Nature's eyes, come save your child. Come save your child. I say come sisters, come and take back your child. This great.
Hello this Saturday afternoon. Welcome to a special edition of GeesBeeCee Women with Words. I want to make sure that you please share the podcast, invite others to come and join. We have a very amazing guest, independent, important, and author. I'm just so excited to talk to her and talk about the work that she's doing. So I want to encourage you to please share the show. But before we bring our, of course, my name is Glendy Jean Juniors, and I'm here this afternoon during this show to introduce someone to you that I want us to be able to support the work that she does. But before we start the show, I also want to say happy birthday to Auntie Miata family. Today is her 75th birthday. 75. Auntie Miata is 75. So we want to, before we start Facebook, we do have copyrights. We want to honor Auntie Miata before we start this very special edition, because our theme song for this podcast or for the show is a song written by Auntie Miata. So we want to share our screen, and we want to respect and honor Auntie Miata today. Hold on one second.
Madam President of Africa, Layman Nawoka, calling all the women, every single woman, mother, auntie, or wife means woman. Let us unite. Come, mamas, come and save your child. Baby Earth is breathing and wailing and needs your tender embrace. Mothers of the universe, Mother Nature's guides, who come save your child. Come save your child. I said come sisters, come and take back your child. This crazy world is breaking and burning and needs your strength right away. Mothers of the universe, Mother Nature's guides, who take back your child. Take back your child. Oh, this is our time. Let's hear it, girls. Oh, this is our time. Oh, woman, this is our time. Oh, woman, this is our time. There is no place to run, so we must take away their guns and bombs and teach them right from wrong, and that love can conquer all. We who rock those cradles, I said, we who carry the world. Oh, this is our time. Oh, what time is it? This is our time. Oh, woman, oh, this is our time. It is our time. Oh, woman, oh, this is our time. Say,
Oba, 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 the woman. Hey, come on.
Oba, da woman. Oba, da woman. She is a woman, strong woman. Oba, oh, hey, hey, this is our time. This is our time. Oba, oh, oh, oh. This is our time. This is our time. Oh, woman, oh, what time is it? This is our time. Come on, girls. Oh, woman, oh, 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 oh. This is our time.
Hello, that's it. That was it. We just wanted to make sure we honor Auntie Miata and say happy birthday to everybody's auntie. Miata family has been singing forever. She's an icon. She is a philanthropist also. She's a Liberian mother that we look up to and we grew up knowing. I'm going to ask our guest if she even knows Miata family or know about her. But we want to welcome our guests to the podcast. Hello, Andy. Welcome.
Hello, thank you so much for having me on the show.
Welcome. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have our guest, Andrea Christ Hare. Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
Yes. She's a young author. She'll tell us a little bit. Want to welcome you to GBC. Want you to encourage, if you're watching us for the first time, we have our podcast every Thursday at 7 p.m. But this Thursday, we had some technical issues with weather and other stuff, and we wanted to be able to share Andy to our community, share us with people who usually watch, and we also want to be supportive of what she does. So we canceled the Thursday appointment to make sure that we will have no issue. Andy is in Liberia. We have no issues with internet, and we can be able to talk to her today. So, if you don't mind introducing yourself, telling us a little bit about who you are so that our audience get to know who you are.
Okay. Andy Hare is my pen name, but my full name is Andrea Daphne Hare. I'm a Liberian young lady. I'm a student. I'm an author. Yeah.
There we are.
I'm
This
a
is
sister. I'm a daughter. Yes.
amazing. And let me just say also that I'm close relationship with Andy's mom, her dad, may he rest. The Hare family is no strange family to the Liberian community. So it gives me an honor to be able to talk to you today. We're going to be talking about Andy, the author, and about the books that she has written. I'm just going to show a picture of the flyer we created. You can see her with the book, Author of Memories Lost Back Home. Interesting series. But we'll talk a little bit about. You say you're in school, so what level are you in school currently?
I'm a sophomore
Okay,
at Stella Maris. Yeah.
Stella Marie. Okay, we went to LU or UL, whatever it's called now. Okay, all right. So tell us the decision you made, or growing up, did you want to become an author, or is this something that just give us some highlights on you becoming an author? What is something you wanted to do, and how you became an author?
Okay. No, to answer the question, I did not always want to be an author. The reason I became an author was because of my dad. Um, it took a while for me to discover myself growing up because it, it was hard for me to connect with people when I was younger. And because of what I found out one day from him, I found out that despite him being a minister, despite him being this youth activist that everybody knows, he was also a writer, not just nonfiction, he wrote fiction also. So one day I found one of his notebooks and it was filled with this amazing romance story
Mhm.
somewhere in his on his shelf, and I read it from top to bottom and I was like, wow, this is beautiful. So we connected with that, and I would write little short stories and would discuss them in the living room when he comes home from work. So he encouraged me to continue writing because when I was younger I was more of a reader than a writer, but he
Okay.
made me decide to explore that other angle. Yeah.
Mhm. It's kind of difficult for me to. I mean, it could be easier for you, but for me to hear Andy say that, or it almost like you were to yourself, your dad and mom, they're people persons. They're everybody knew Sam Hare, the
Yeah.
writer, the teacher, the singer. I mean, everybody knew Sam Hare, and of course, everybody knew Debbie, especially Debbie's time in at LU under
Mm.
the Palawa Hut with Beto Wall. I remember the relationship. I remember them encouraging people to follow Christ. So it's interesting that you say you were a little bit reserved to yourself. So you decide your dad kind of influence you into writing, and
Yeah.
so you feel that this is it. This is what you really wanted to do. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, at first I started doing it because of him, but then I started writing professionally 4 years ago. And it was 4 years ago I decided why I want to be a writer, and I write to inspire.
Good.
That's what I want to do. I realized that I have a lot to say. It's just I was always shy and introverted. So I'm not really that kind of person who will speak and be on platforms and tell people my minds. I rather write it down. So because I have that opportunity now to write it down and publish, and thousands of people can read it, I'm like, okay, this is a better platform for me. So
That's
once I write it down, yeah, a lot of people will be able to read it.
So tell us the story about your this I want to believe that this is your first project.
Yes,
Okay.
ever.
So tell us the story about this first project that you started on. What do you link it to, and what is it all about? About the memories? I mean, when you say memories lost home, I'm almost thinking about growing up. And for those of you watching, you're watching GBC Women with Words. Our guest today is young author, a young Liberian woman author, Andrea Hare. We're talking about her series that she's written. Please go to Amazon. The books are not expensive. I have pinned the book link where you can go and be able to purchase. And even if you live in Liberia and want the book, Andy is also on Facebook. You can reach out to her, reach out to myself. We want to be able to empower her and to support her in her work. So tell us about I wanted to say the book remind. I don't know whether you remember, whether your mom may have told you.
Mm.
We had set of books we used to read, Hardy Boss, Miz and Bones.
Yeah,
So
she
when
told
I
me.
when I when I saw your stack of books, when I saw
Mm.
the pictures and saw your book, it reminded me about it. But tell us a little bit about Memories Lost Home.
Okay. So it is my first project, but it's not the only two books I've written.
Okay.
As a professional author, I have about 6 novels, but altogether, I have about 12 books written by me in the space of 4 years. But
Wow.
Memories Lost is my baby. That's how I got off the shadow of my dad and decided to explore on my own. And so when I wrote this book, I was still in high school. So it
Mhm.
contains most of my high school memories, things I saw, things I experienced, but I'm not in the book, in case anyone is
Okay, I
wondering.
want to.
Yeah.
I was about to ask. Okay, am I going to hear about your memories in the?
Oh no, I don't have much memories from high school, but what I remember is being a wallflower, and for some reason people used to like me. Boys used to like me. I was friends with a lot of people. So I would have these older friends, like I was in the ninth grade, and I would have friends in the 12th grade. And they would want me to go along with them when they're playing basketball. I'm holding their phones in their bags, or when they're going to a prom, they will carry me along for them to find their dresses and stuff. So I was always in the middle of the conversation, but never really a part of it. So
Okay.
most of what they were doing is what is in the book.
All right.
Yeah, for the fictional
Okay.
part.
So you decide to write this book. Tell us a little bit about your whole process. You How old are you if you don't mind me asking?
I should be 25 this year.
She's 25 years old and you already have authored 12 books. Am I
Yes.
right? Yes.
Yeah.
So when you tell me a little bit about the process, you live in Liberia. What is
Mhm.
it like writing a book in Liberia and all of the things you have to go to be able to publish a book?
Ugh, it's not easy. But the creative process and the writing process, it's okay. I mean, the process itself is hard for a lot of writers, but the publishing here, I haven't been able to publish here. It's always been a dream of mine, but every time I find a publishing house or a printing house, the price is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had to go outside of the country. I was actually poached from a writing platform called Wattpad by a
Okay.
Nigerian 4 years ago. And my
Oh,
books are published, yeah, with him. We grew up in the publishing business together, so now he's my publisher. But I haven't been able to publish here.
okay. So what
Yeah.
is, I mean, I know you talk about cost, the editing process. Are there people, tell us when you wrote this book or you had the contents to be able to develop it into a book, what were your steps? What did you do? Who did you get to read it first or edit it, or what were the comments you got from the book?
Okay. So, like I mentioned earlier, I was poached from this writing platform. So, I was poached from there to a WhatsApp writers community 4 years ago. So, in that community, we had writers, we had editors, we had proofreaders. All of us were in that community. So, I had people just like me who would read the book, people who are more experienced, people who are actually published. Yeah, so I had a lot of those people as my peers, and they helped me to go back and forth until we could get what we have today as Memories Lost.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I know, and just so people watching, I know your dad left us early. But I want to know if your father knew about the book before he passed.
Yes, he did, but
I'm
he
sure
never
he was.
got to hold it.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I'm sure he was just extremely proud that I mean your parents were how I don't know how to describe their you all are well accomplished kids, and they always say, yeah, I mean you got a lawyer, you probably will have a doctor. It's like you all are just so accomplished. Kudos to your dad and kudos to your mom Debbie, who has been able to really keep you all together. You're a tight knit family, and I'm so proud of the work they've done and what they've done with you. And so dad is not here. And so mom, what was her response to you about the book? What did she have to say?
Honestly, she is the reason why I'm having these interviews and people recognizing me as an author. Because once I opened up to her, I think a year ago, for me to tell her that I have 12 books, she was like, "Why do you have 12 books and nobody knows about it? Like,
I
why are you
know.
sitting, why are you sitting on all these books?" So she literally pushed me to where I am right now. The publishing, the printing, she was like, "We have to do this. You have to get out to the public's eye." And I was like, "No, I'm too shy. I won't be able to have the interviews to speak to people." But she was like, as soon as you start to go through it, once you are sure that this is your passion, it will be able to shine through. So she is the reason why all of this is happening.
Okay, without giving up any of the stories, because we want people, how much is one of the book on Amazon?
It's under $10.
Under $10. If you're watching, I just pinned the link. We want to be able to encourage Andy on the book. You can purchase the book. You can give it out to young women or young boys, whoever. You yourself can read it. want to be able to give her some support. So tell us the name of this particular book here. Let me show the picture so people can see. Here, Memories Lost Back Home. How did you get to this title?
Mm, as I said, it was my first book. I have them here.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I feel like I was inspired by a film. I can't remember which one, but the fun fact about these two books is that I wrote the second book first. So the idea came to me about a lady who has lost her memory and gains it at the end of the book. But that process in
Mm-hmm.
between, yeah, that was what I wrote. But then people were like, "Oh, want to know what happened before she lost her memory?" So that's how I wrote the first book.
Okay.
Yeah, so the idea is fictional, it's a romance story, but actually I wrote it to showcase passion.
Okay.
I wrote it to showcase dysfunctional families. I explore different themes in this book because I noticed some things are going on in our Liberian society, the families, relationship with parents. It's something I'm blessed with, I think, to have a relationship with my parents where I can talk to them about anything, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we have that in our society. And
Yes.
so I was trying to put it into fiction in an entertaining way for my peers to read and be like, okay, but if this character can have this kind of relationship with her mom, then I can be able to tell my mom about these things,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Amazing.
something like that. Yeah, because a lot of mistakes are always being made and the parents don't know about it until it's too late, which
Yeah.
has contributed to a lot of things, a lot of messy things in our society. Yeah.
And I think as I hear you, I think it's a good book also for parents to read
Mhm.
because I don't think me growing up, I think I was closer to my dad, but I don't think I was even crazy to go to him and tell him my thoughts or tell my mom why I'm talking, especially not to tell them anything that I have boyfriend. Just completely forget that. But
Mhm.
I think it's like you say, it's important for parents to also be able to be in their kids' lives and know what they're
Mhm.
doing. But that they don't have to be afraid that this is gonna happen because when they get involved in things, they're gonna come to you. So we
Yeah.
as parents have to be able to have, and it's easier said than done, but it can be done. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It can be done. I have kids, and I know that my sons, they're able to come and tell me. My daughters will shy away a little bit. They will do, can I have a meeting with you? Do you have time? My son was say, listen, woman, I need to tell you this. They'll just tell me. So I think we as parents have to be able to move on from what tradition
Yeah.
has to where we are now. So have you been able to launch the book in Liberia?
Not yet. I've launched it unofficially. I've sold out some copies, but the launch is on May 6th. This
May
month.
6th. Okay,
Next month.
excellent, excellent. So let's work together. We here at GBC will make a contribution to you to help you with the launching.
Thank you so much.
Also make sure that if you need flyers or whatever you need, we want to be able to help you. But we also want to make sure this book is shared with and parents, if you're watching, don't be shy to read about romance and passion. It's important that you know that the children are also involved in romance and passion. But we'll talk some more. Are there more books in this line of work to come out?
No.
This is it?
In this series, yes, if I understand the question.
Yes,
In
in
this
this
particular
series.
series,
So,
yes.
you're telling me now. I hope your mom read. I don't know if your mom would have read Mills and Boo because your mom was so holy. I tell you, oh my
She
God.
did. She did. She told me she did.
Yeah, okay, okay. Because oh my God, I mean, Debbie them was so inspirational. And Elio Palaho, even if you were a singer when you hear them singing, you will stop. You would just have to stop by and join. I wasn't a member of Bethel. I was a Baptist, but I still was a part of the religious movement on LU. But I want to say,
Mhm.
we want to congratulate you, Andy. We're gonna
Thank
do
you.
all we can. We'll be talking behind. Like I said, I will provide support towards the book launching on May 6th.
Yeah.
Is there anything else? If not in this series, do you see yourself writing other books?
Oh yeah, I have a lot of other books being written right now. I have like four. I
Okay.
should be done with all four this year.
Uh, so this launch on the 6th, is it specifically for this book? These
Yes.
two books. So it's specifically for these two books. Who are your targeted audience for the launch? Make sure
For
you
the
make
launch,
sure. Mm,
for the launch, I'm not just targeting my readers, I'm also targeting sponsors because I have a lot of ideas when it comes to getting these books in libraries around the country. I'm trying
amazing.
to put the books in libraries. I'm starting I want to have programs where I can invite as many young ladies as possible, make myself talk to them, let us read the books and discuss what it's like to be in our families, what is because even if we don't want to discuss it with our parents, we are still experiencing these things. We are experiencing love, we are experiencing sex. We have to know what's going on, why should we do certain things, why we shouldn't do certain things. So I want to create a platform as a young author so that they can relate to me so that we can be able to have these conversations.
I
So
like
yeah, by targeting these people, they will give me the opportunity, the resources I need. And I had a radio interview I think 2 months ago, and the people, the response to me was almost overwhelming. They were like, can you please do a book tour, come to other counties, because we don't want you to just be in Monrovia alone, we also have
absolutely.
children in different counties. And I was like, okay. I really want to do that, but step by step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I want to encourage you. I like what you I think you have stumbled upon something
Mm,
that's gonna be amazing. From this book is gonna and I mean, I'm not a prophetess, but I think this book can grow into where, you, like you say, create a platform where you can talk about those things that people couldn't talk about.
yeah.
And, you know, it could be parents and children, they get exposed to these things because, of course, we all are experiencing different things. And it's important that parents know what their kids are involved in, but that
Yeah.
also parents don't shy away from their experiences with their children,
Hmm.
that they're able to tell their children the things that they went through. And it doesn't mean because they did it, it's going to be bad, but so your kids know too that some of these difficult times they're having, that they're able to go through it. I want
Yeah.
to talk a little bit about your dad and
Okay.
you now the author, and how challenging it has been for the family as a whole, but particularly for you. How have you been
Mhm.
able to cope since the loss of your dad?
Okay. It's been hard. Honestly, I was the closest to him, from the children's side. We just had that connection. I lived with him for the last few months of his life.
Okay.
So I was there. It was one of those weekends where I came to see my mom that he passed. So it's been hard for me because knowing that I wasn't there and it was happening, it still messes with me. But I finally accepted his death on his first anniversary there in March. That was
Okay.
when I went there and I held the tomb. I was like, okay, he's actually in here, because it was really hard for me to accept that he was gone. I always felt like he was there waiting for me, willing to cook for me whenever I wanted it, talk to me about what I was going through in my life. But yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
when I can't find that courage to do these things like these interviews or talk to people, I'll be like, Daddy would want me to do this. Because we had a lot of plans about what he wanted me to do as an author in my country. He had all these people he wanted me to meet. He'd be like, okay, I know this person. I will introduce you to this person at the ministry, and then we'll do this and this and this. So I always do it for him. Yeah.
All right. So if you're just joining, we're almost done here. If you're just joining us, we've been talking to Andrea here, a young Liberian author. I want to, because there may be people on here who know your parents. She's the daughter of the late Sam Hare and Debbie Hare. And we're so proud. The woman has written a love novel here. She's talking about passion. She's written a love novel. Yeah, she's a writer. She's an author. She has authored 12 books. This two-book series will be launched on May 6th. I want to encourage you. It's just $10 if we can get all of you watching today, watching right now, to go to. And once I get done, I'm also going to purchase. I have two daughters. I'll purchase 3 of the books for the 3 of us. I want to make sure that each of us here who's watching, let's encourage Angie. Like she said, we want to get to the place where Andy can be able to publish a book in Liberia. You know what I mean? If this book is going to be a sellout, these two books are going to be a sellout, then you'll be able to create the avenue for you to publish in Liberia with the challenges.
Yeah.
What have been some of the comments you've heard from your siblings about the book?
I think
Did they say, "Oh my God, Andy, you know all that's here"?
not really. All of them had their suspicions about everything I actually know. But ever since they read the book, they were like, okay, so we've been right. Because growing up, I was always really quiet and silent, always in my room. So, like, this is what you've been doing. So, you've been getting this. But they always,
Yes.
every time they're talking about me, they'll be like, you're so smart and maybe you're probably the smartest of all. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, no, no, I'm not. I know, but I wrote a book, but no. But it has helped me to connect with my family more. Like right now, I can literally tell my mom anything because she reads all of my books. So she already knows what's going on. So I can just tell her where I'm going, who I'm going with, how long I'll be there. And so now I can't believe it because it helps us connect as parent and daughter. Yeah, it's a conversation that we had.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah.
And I love that even though your dad is not here, he's still an inspiration for you and
Yeah.
he has motivated you. So, I'm going to pick first right now amongst your siblings. Who's your favorite?
I have to say my big sister, my biggest sister, the
Okay.
lawyer.
Okay. The lawyer. Oh, yes. I didn't say it, oh. She I didn't say it, oh, she said it. So, but anyway, so if there's one thing you want Liberians to do for you for this book, you have a chance now to speak to them. Not only Liberians, but people, other places. Um, Even if there was a way that you could send some of the books here that we could be able to help you sell it. People that want the book in Liberia, what is the cost for the book in Liberia?
The set is $20. It's two books, so one is 10. Yeah, so it's
Okay.
$20 for the set. Yeah.
So $20 is for the setup book in Liberia, and the same thing on Amazon is on a 10.
Yeah.
Memories. Let me just show the
Yeah.
picture again. Memory loss back home. Amazing, amazing book. It goes above and beyond. And what Andy has said, this book has also helped to revamp the relationship to be able to tell her mommy anything. Mom, I'm coming, I'm going so and so place. Or sister, I'm coming and going. If there's a young child or even an adult out there
Mm.
who is desirous of becoming an author and they've thought about it and haven't done it, what would you say to them?
Uh, it's not an easy thing. For me, the reason why I think I'm at the place I am right now is because of people outside of the country who saw potential in me, invited me into a community, taught me, because I didn't just get here just because my parents are smart. I was taught. I was taught writing. I was taught so many things. And so I would tell them that they should connect to people who are already doing that, like me, for instance. I
Mhm.
want to try my best to create avenues for people who so they can come and I can talk to them about it, because I know we have a lot of writers in my country. We have a lot of people who have creative juices and creative mindsets. We have artists, but it's hard to pursue art in Liberia because nobody is really pursuing certain things. It's either music or people have habits that they're doing. Yeah, so people are like, okay, so maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I should just be more traditional. I should go to medical school. I should study management. I should study accounting. Because there's nobody is saying anything about it. But I would say to them, find a person who has done it and then listen to them because they have a lot to say. Yeah.
All right. Any challenges you want to share with us? Have you had anybody tell you, look at the way acting like she know English now, she writing books? Have you had any challenges, any negative comments that people have tried to kind of discourage you from doing what your desire is?
The one comment that has stuck with me came from my principal, my high school principal. He bought the books and he supported me and everything, but he was like, how are you writing about these things? Like, because I told him the latest book I'm working on has something to do with couples, married couples. So he's like, you're not married. So how do you have this idea? How do you have the things you
Intuition,
need
yeah.
to be able to speak on something that you're not experiencing? And I'm like, I'm a writer. I'm a researcher. At some point, I'm going to be a wife. I am many things in one when it comes to writing. So I do my research as much as possible. But it's hard for people to understand that, yes, I'm young, but I also do my research before I write anything down. Because although it's fiction, I want it to be as realistic as possible. So I do my research, and that's the hard part for people to understand. So it's like, yeah, I hear you, but still you won't have all the information. I'm like, okay, if you say so.
I know. But I want to
Yeah.
encourage you to continue to follow your heart's desire. We here will do all that we can to support you. Want to thank you. A little closer to the book launch, we'll do another show if you so desire. We want to be able to promote you. We will help with whatever we can, whether it's financially, morally, sharing flyers, to make sure that you're successful. I am so proud of you. I thank you for taking off this time to talking to me today, and we will continue to talk some more. Okay?
Thank you so much. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
You're welcome. Thank you, Annie, so much.
Okay.
All righty. So there you go. I was talking to Andy Hare, Sam Hare, and Debbie Hare's daughter. So amazingly proud of this young woman. She has authored 12 books, she said. And this series of 2 books, Memory Lost Home, is now on Amazon. And of the 12 books, she has not been able to officially launch them, but the official launch for this book is on May 6th. I want to encourage you. This is a young woman who is doing something so positive. The book is one that she is so proud of, that it has opened up a better relationship, an easier relationship for herself, and she believes that it will do for other families and other children and their parents. So I want to encourage you. It's under $10. This young woman is 24 years old. She's in school, but she's also following her passion to write. It's not that expensive. All we can do is be supportive. So go to Amazon, purchase the book. If you're in Liberia, Andy is on Facebook. Inbox her, inbox myself. I can connect you with her. Like I said, her mother is Debbie Hare. Her dad was Sam Hare. And one of the things that has prepared her to continue to write is because there was a story she read that her dad wrote, and that inspired her. And so she uses the fact that her dad has gone so soon to be able to write books, and reach out to a community of people and talk about things that she will do research on. So I want you, let's support Andy. Let's support the work she's doing. Just again, these are the books. This is Andy and her books, 2 series. Or she's the author of Memories Lost Back Home. And the book, she talks about passion. She talks about several other things. So please go and purchase. If you do purchase the book, take a picture of it, share it on a page. We want to support her. We want to do all we can to be able to be supportive. And in this process, we also want to be able to support other young people in whatever they're doing. So it's been a pleasure talking with Andy this afternoon. Thank you all for watching. Today is Miata family's 75th birthday. We celebrate Auntie Miata, and we will see you all on Thursday's show. The show on Thursday, our guests will be Prince and Jasmine. There are 2 people, man and woman of God, but they'll be talking about how they relocated from Minneapolis to Greensboro, North Carolina, and they've now started a whole new restaurant called Kingdom Cafe. And they're doing amazingly well, Liberians. So we want to be supportive of them. We will be talking to them on Thursday. Until Thursday, I want to thank you for watching, and you all have a pleasant Saturday afternoon.